Hello and welcome back to Wyman's Whimsy. This is the third card in the series using the translucent floral bundle, and I've added in the Cane Weave 3D embossing folder on this one. So I made this one up and it's a little bit plain. You know what I'm like, it's got to have an embossing folder or something in the background. So the one I make on the video is going to be slightly different. But what we've got is a Night of Navy card base, a 5 3/8 by 4 1/8 in Misty Moonlight, and two 5 1/4 by 4 in Basic White. And then we've got a piece of the Misty Moonlight, 5 1/4 by 1 1/2 that I've run through the Cane Weave folder. So one of the pieces of Basic White is for the inside. So we're going to do that first because otherwise I will forget. And this time I'm going to just use Misty Moonlight on the inside, and we're just going to come in like that. So we just got that little bit on the edge, and I'm going to leave that open because I'm going to use it, but I'm just going to put that on the inside right away. It's like I say, otherwise I will forget, and you'll all be going, what happened to the inside of the card? It's like she forgot. So we're just going to line that up inside, just like it was the front of the card, but it's the inside. So that works there. And now we're going to take the other 5 1/4 by 4. And if you look at this one, it's kind of blank and plain. So I'm going to stamp down each side of the page. And sorry, I'm just trying to make room where I don't have any. So I'm going to pop this one off to the side here. Okay, so we're going to pop in some leaves along the edges. I'm just going to pop another one in the top there so it's not quite so plain. And then we're going to come in with the other side. I've turned the paper over. I also have the stamp the other way up. So the flowers will not be going upside down, except those ones. There, the leaves are upside down there. And I'm just going to pop a little bit in like that. And I can test this and see how we're doing. Okay, that's gonna work really, really well. So what I need to do now is I need to clean this stamp off so that I can do the Mossy Meadow accents. So let's just clean that off. Perfect. Okay, so before I do this though, do I need this? No, I need Mossy Meadow. I need to do the accent on the greeting, but I'm going to leave that off for now because I've made this just a little bit busier. So let's just see if I actually need it or not. So I've used the deckled rectangle dies, the smallest one to cut out the greeting from the set, wishing you all the happiness in the world, and the next size up to cut the mat. And I'm going to, and I used the next size up again to cut the 3 kind of panels for the front. And I'm just going to grab my Mossy Meadow and my stamp, and I'm going to stamp all of them kind of at once, like this. And I'm just going to come in at the bottom like that. And I had got the little one out because I had a gap here, and I thought if I have a gap on these ones, then I'm going to get the little one out. But I don't have a gap, so I don't need it. I did want to kind of break these away, make them stand out a little bit. So I'm just taking a sponge dauber into the ink pad and just around all of the edges on this, just adding that bit of color in. You see how it really makes it kind of jump out a little bit more than just the plain. And I've mentioned before in videos that when we had the linen pads, we would just drag the edges through the pad, but we don't want to do that with this, the foam pads or sponge pads, because it will tear the surface of the ink pad. So just get your sponge dauber out, or if you've got sponge triangles, I sometimes use those as well. Do I have one here? I do. Just a little sponge. This is a circle, makeup sponge in a circle, and I just cut it into triangles, and you can use that as well. If you don't have a sponge dauber, you could use what you've got. You don't need all of the bells and whistles. Just use what you've got. I used to do a lot of hand lettering because I didn't have alphabets. Now, I want to make sure that I've got these in the same order, so they're like that. Okay. Now, I'm going to do the greeting last. And on this one, I added a little bit of kind of decoration to the top and bottom. Don't know if I'm going to do that on this one because it's really busy. So I'm going to layer this up. So we'll put this on the card front. This is my 5 3/8 by 4 1/8 matte in the Misty Moonlight. So we're going to layer that up like that. And then we've got our 5 1/4 by 4 in the basic white with the Misty Moonlight leaves on it. And again, that narrow little border. Just going to pop that down like that. And then we're going to flat mount this. We're going to put adhesive right at the very edge. It's one of those really 3D folders, so the edge of the paper gets really waffled. And if you don't put the adhesive right at the very edge, the edge of the piece might walk up from the base a little bit. So we're going to put that down. Looks like I've just a tad shy there. Okay, so that's like that. And then we're going to layer these up on top. Now, I dimensionalized them on the sample, and I think I might dimensionalize them here as well, just to lift them up from the background a little bit. And what I want to do is just use strips down the side. So I do have adhesive strips, but I also have the edge of my mini dimensionals that I'm going to use. So just peel that off, pop it along the edge like that, peel them off, and place this one down. And we're going to pop this one like that. Okay, and then we're going to do the bottom one. Just adhesive on each edge like that. You could put a second one on there if you wanted to. You can use your regular dimensionals as well. They will fit on the edge, but I just chose to use my long bits. And we're going to, I want this to be this kind of the same distance from the bottom as the one at the top is from the top. We're just going to lay that down like that. And then we're going to just pop these on. Oop, I need one more piece cut. So let's just take that piece like that. There we go. And we'll peel those off. It must be like watching paint dry on the video. It's like, oh, come on, peel the edges already. So, and then we're going to put that equal distance in the middle like that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to mock this up without putting any adhesive on it and put it in the middle. And I think I'm actually going to leave it plain. I think there's so much going on in the background that by leaving the front plain, it will really focus on the greeting. By all means, you could put a leaf motif, or you could use the little stamp that I used. And then I'm going to flat mount this. I had dimensionalized it on the other card, but I think I'm just going to flat mount it here. So I'm going to put little bit of adhesive there, a little bit in the middle, a little bit at the bottom, and that's going to sit right in the middle like that. And that is our card. We've got the inside done already. As I say, I would forget it. You want to do this as a landscape card. The front of the card is really heavy, so you wouldn't want it to be a tent card because it will fall down. So that's the two versions of the card. I have to say I like the one with the leaves in the background as well a little bit better. But this is the creative process. You make one and you think, how can I make it better? And then you all come up with ideas that I can add detail to it. So I love hearing your ideas. Let me know in the comments which one you prefer and what you would do differently. And let's create together again soon.